I'm now going to give an overview of the Ethics and Advocacy Project. For this assignment, you will be writing a letter to an elected official. We talked a little bit about this in the overview Zoom that I had with all of you, but wanted to give you a few more details because this aligns with the Ethics and Advocacy module that we're working through this week. The first thing to note is that you won't submit your draft of this for, probably about a month and a half. So I know that this is very kind of early, but I wanted you to have this information again because it aligns with the module for this week, and also so you can start thinking about the topic and working on your letter to send to your senator or representative. So the first thing is that you should think about a topic that you may want to address in your letter. So if you aren't sure what topics are out there, you may already have something in mind, but in case you don't, the link in the assignment guidelines, the first one is to the NAEYC Public Policy and Advocacy site. So on this site, you can look up the agendas at the federal level. So this gives you an overview of what's happening right now. We are in the 118th Congress. This is at the federal level again. So if you want to learn more about the topics that are up for debate right now, you can go to this website and learn some more. So this again is the NAEYC page where you can find this information. The second link is to, the Council for Exceptional Children, their policy and advocacy page. And on here, you can, again, find out more about what's happening, issues that are up for vote, bills that we're trying to get legislators to sign on to, and you can see overall the legislative priorities. All right, so this is a place where you can learn more. On these sites, you can also, let me go back here a second. You can also often find sample letters that you can work from. If you go to taking action, you can see the Legislative Action Center has, so you can actually go in. So if a topic that you're interested in is school mental health, you can click on this. And a lot of these sites will have these pre-written letters. This makes writing legislators super, super easy. You can use this as a starting point, but I do actually want you to write a letter, do some research, things like this. But this is good to keep in mind because really, if you wanted to, in the future, write a legislator and you didn't want to take the time to write everything, to do all of the research and background legwork, this is a very quick and easy way. I'll just go through because this is one that I've done before, but it's okay. I think I have to put this in. So you can see how quick and easy it is. You can see here, they know who I am because I've done this before. So they know that my senators at the federal level are Dick Durbin and Tammy Duckworth. That's true for all of us in the state of Illinois. Remember, we only have two federal senators for each state. We have lots and lots of representatives. My representative, because I live in Champaign, is Nikki Budzinski. So I could make sure everything is right, click send message, and that's all there is to it, okay? And so in the future, when you are thinking about writing legislators, there are very quick and easy ways to do that. If you're interested in more state types of policies, Start Early is a great site to find out information about things that are happening in the state of Illinois, and to find more information about bills and things that you might be able to write legislators about that are more specific to our state. So those are some links that are in there. I don't have the Start Early one in here, but I'll add it in so that you can have access to that site as well. Oh, I had it in the PowerPoint, I do believe. Yes, I did. Okay, so you have access to that site as well. So NAEYC, CEC, those are the two that I showed you first. Start Early is here. All right, so once you decide on a topic that you want to write about, next you need to think about, is this a federal topic, like that I would write somebody at the federal level, like Tammy Duckworth, Dick Durbin, your representative in Washington, or is this more of a state issue? If it's a state issue, then you would need to write your legislators at the state level. If it's a federal issue, like a more national level issue, you would write your elected officials at the federal level. So the way that you would find that out is you can click on this link here, and I already have it opened up over here. So let me get rid of these. So it's super, super easy. This will take you to a website, this website, and all you have to do is put in your address. So again, I'm going to put this in for me so you can see how easy this is. You put in your address. Most of you would put in your address where you, like your permanent address, your address at home. And then click on Find My Elected Officials. And it may say, oh, we really want you to use this address. Okay, fine. So this is how easy it is to find out. For federal officials, it tells me who the president is, vice president, who my senators are, and who my U.S. representative is. Okay? This also will tell you your state folks. So the governor, lieutenant governor, the people that you would want to write at the state level are this Illinois state senator or Illinois state representative. So for me, because of where I live, my state senator is Paul Faraci, and my representative is Carol Ammons. All right. So again, it matters if you are writing about a state or a federal issue. For those of you who are in the city of Chicago, if anyone is, I'm not sure anyone is actually, sometimes people will write alderman at the city, for the city. For me, if I really had something that I was interested in at the local level, these are my local folks, but I would prefer you stick with either the state or federal folks when you are writing your letters. So that's a little bit about figuring out what topic you want to write about and finding out who you should address your letter to. All right. So once you figure those things out, then you are ready to draft your letter. So for writing your letter, you should write about your topic, list at least 5 reasons why your issue should be supported, why, and I've also included here, I'm just going to get rid of this, how to write a letter to your elected representative. So this website is what this site is here. I'll put these in the assignment guidelines as well, so that you can have access to these from multiple places. I really like this. This is actually just from Grammarly. So it walks you through the process of writing a letter to an elected official. So talks about why you might write a letter, when you might write a letter, how you write a letter, what are the rules. So these are great things to keep in mind when you're writing letters to representatives. You want to keep a positive tone. You want to keep it to one page. You really want to just stick with one topic. You don't want to try to cover everything that you think needs to be changed in the educational system in one letter. You can write multiple letters for that, but for this class and for this assignment, you're just going to be writing about one topic in one letter. You'll include your home address. Most of you will send this via email, so you will just send this to one person. You'll send it through email. I would recommend that you write your letter like in Microsoft Word or something like that to make sure that everything is grammatically correct and accurate, and then copy and paste it into the format. There's usually like a template that you have to fill out, like a form kind of thing online, to send an email to your representative or your senator. And that's true at the state or federal levels. So include facts. Like I said, keep it positive. If you are writing somebody who hasn't voted for the topic or hasn't been on the same side as where you think they should be, and you're trying to convince them to vote a certain way, don't attack them for their previous voting record. Just encourage them to vote in the way that you would like for them to. Okay. Use formal writing. Remember, you're writing you're writing a formal person. This should be respectful. And when you think about what you include, I'm just going to go down here to an example. Just that's the easiest way to see it. So you would include your name, your address. I know it seems sort of funny, but you would say the honorable representative, so if I was writing my federal representative, Budzinski, U.S. House of Representatives, Washington, D.C. So this is if you're writing a U.S. representative. And then you'd say, Dear Representative Budzinski, my name is Amanda Quisenberry. I reside in your district. I blah, 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 blah. So this is a great form, and you can use this form. I don't care if you copy and paste it and use this as a template. That is completely fine for me. For the facts 1, 2, and 3, think about those being your 5 reasons why your issue should be supportive. Or supported. So think about that as those facts 1, 2, and 3. So then you would include your name, your title, your email address, your phone number. This is if you were writing a state senator. This is what it would look like. So going back up here, this is if you were writing a U.S. representative or senator. The only difference would be, instead of saying, if you were writing a senator, you would say the honorable senator, like if you were writing Tammy Duckworth, Representative Duckworth, and then you would put U.S. Senate, Washington, D.C. And then you, of course, would say, Dear Senator. State level, again, if you were writing a senator or a representative at the state level, you would follow the same format, right? So it can seem a little bit overwhelming. It can seem a little bit daunting to write a representative or a senator. But once you do this, some of you may have done this before, it really is something that you'll probably do over and over again, because it is one of the easiest, best ways to reach out to your elected officials. So you will submit a draft of your letter to me and I almost said ReggieNet. My goodness, I need to go back and remember who I am today. Canvas. And that is due in mid-October. Once you submit your draft, I will review it, let you know if any changes need to be made. And once I've approved it, you will send this off, email it to your senator or representative. Hopefully you will get a response from them. Just so that I know you actually did send it, I ask that you do a screenshot with the time that shows the time and the date that you sent your letter. You'll include that with your final reflection at the end of the semester. Hopefully, like I said, you get a response. I will give you a heads up that when and if you do get a response, I'll say when, because most all people respond. They just may not get back to you within that month time frame. But when you get a response from your elected official, don't be surprised if it doesn't feel super personal or it's probably going to be written from a form letter. And that's not to say that your letter isn't important or that nobody has read your letter. Your letter has been read, I guarantee it. Has your letter been read by the actual elected official? Probably not. If you can imagine, Dick Durbin or Tammy Duckworth or Nikki Basinski probably gets lots and lots and lots of letters every single day. And so what happens is they have staffers. They're called people that work for them, that open their mail, that read their letters. And what they do then is say, hey, Senator Duckworth, today or this week or whatever, you received 68 letters related to full funding for IDEA, and you received 3 letters related to Head Start funding, and you received 658 letters related to whatever. Okay. So they do know to some degree what people are concerned with, what people are writing about. But when the staffer then looks at your letter and says, okay, I think this is, you say you write about full funding for IDEA, then you're going to get a letter back that talks about that, but probably is, like I said, a form letter. So don't be shocked when you get that. Hopefully it will be personal. Obviously, if you write like a state representative or a state senator, or definitely a local person, you're more likely to get a more personal response. But in my experience, you're also a little less likely to actually get a response, which seems kind of strange, but that's the way that it's been in my experience. All right, so at the very end of the semester, once you have sent your letter, you've hopefully gotten a response, you have your timestamp thing, you're also going to write a reflection about the process of completing this assignment. So these are the reflection questions that you'll respond to. You'll submit this reflection along with the letter you sent, proof that the letter was sent, the timestamp, response if you received it, and this is how I will grade that paper. The draft that you submit, you don't get a grade for that, but you are required to submit that draft. The paper is that includes all of these 4 different elements, again, is due at the very end of the semester, and this is the rubric that's used to grade that paper. So hopefully this is helpful. Hang on to this. You can come back to watch this video later in the semester when it's time for you to write your letter and your reflection. If you have questions about this or anything, of course, as always, you can email me and let me know.